Welcome. So today's little clip is on how to release the respiratory, the thoracic diaphragm muscle, which is our main muscle for respiration. So we understand in yoga, and certainly also in rehabilitation, that this is the primary muscle that needs to be able to function well for our bodies to be well. And we also understand that breathing well means feeling well. It reduces any levels of anxiety in our body and enables the nervous system to calm down. To breathe well, we need to have a muscle that isn't tight and spasmed, and it's actually really common to have parts of the diaphragm in spasm. So I want to show you a really simple, very effective way to release off your respiratory diaphragm muscle. So the diaphragm sits like a dome-shaped muscle that attaches to the edge of our rib cage and actually has slips that attach to our upper lumbar low back vertebrae. And we can't really access it well around the back, but we can here to the sides at the edge of these lowest ribs. It's more difficult to release it off in the very center where it meets the sternum. So we're going to focus on this area here. And when we breathe in, this muscle actually descends down and it creates a vacuum in the lungs that helps to pull the breath in. And then when we exhale, it relaxes back into that dome-shaped position sitting here. And that helps to press the breath back out of the lungs. It also has an effect on our circulatory system, our blood pumping around our body, and is just such a vital function in our body. So I won't go into all the benefits. I'll focus mainly on showing you how to release it. Start by trying to pop your fingers in underneath your ribs, and this way you'll be able to tell for yourself how tight or relaxed this muscle is. Now this is easier done lying down because it means you can relax your abdominal muscles really well, but I'm going to show you seated and then you can try it lowering down. So let's get in a little bit closer. You can see here's the end of my rib cage, and what I'm doing is I'm actually poking my fingers up in underneath the ribs. And if your diaphragm muscle is well relaxed, you should be able to stick almost up to your second finger joint in underneath the ribs. So once you've measured for yourself how far in you can go, then have a feel around and see if you can find any tight, usually tender spots. And then if you find one, we're going to hold that tension, that point of tension. We're going to take a breath in, and then we're going to exhale and cough into our fingers. So when you cough, it will cough your fingers out, and that's fine. But hold the pressure so that you're actually holding that point of tension against the muscle having to contract. And this is a really great way to stimulate the muscle to then relax. I'll show you how. So let's say I've found a tender spot in under here. You can reinforce it with your other hand if that helps you to hold the tension. And then you breathe in, exhale, and you see how that popped my fingers out. Again, I'll show you close up. I'm holding a tender spot that I might find. Breathing in, exhale, and my fingers pop out from that contraction of the diaphragm muscle. So it means that what we're actually doing is when we breathe in, the diaphragm muscle comes down to meet our fingers, and we hold that tension as it relaxes. So we've found the spot, and then we contract the diaphragm. And as I said, when you actually, if you hold a trigger point and then work a muscle, in this case coughing, it actually helps for the muscle to register the release, because you're actually working it at the same time as you're releasing it. So it has a much more profound effect with the nervous system registering this attempt to release it. So all the best with that, and happy breathing. Namaste.